Всем здорово. Секунду.
Right, we will make it to set 5. I have high expectations for Arena Casito. That is my prediction.
I guarantee a 5. I think I'm saying 3-1. I'm saying 3-1. You're saying 3-2. Okay. All right. We'll see who's right. See who's right. We gotta look at the drafts. I'm so eager to see where these teams go when it comes down to what they're going to draft. I mentioned it as a side note earlier. So much Mr. P. Like, I'm not complaining. I love the Porter Man. I think he's awesome. But why? That's the big question. Like, they're not playing it because I'm here. Otherwise, they'd be playing on Sprout. So it's like, why are you bringing out the Mr. P? You know, what's your thought process here? Why do you think we've seen so much of the little guy?
Yeah, so this is where Mr. P basically stands, is that he has his spawn, right? He can use it to tank if he wants, whatever. It's a nice utility. But the real thing is that he's great versus these single target brawlers, the brawlers that don't have piercing shots. We're talking things like, maybe not Spike would be the best example, but your go-to examples would be Stu, Piper, right?
Yeah.
Mr. P is phenomenal versus Piper, right? Because he can shoot over walls, sure, but those porters are going to be everything. Now, he has received a lot of balance changes since his release because he was so strong in that regard, where he constantly had health coming out, basically walls of health that you have to in that regard, where he constantly had health coming out, basically walls of health that you have to deal with and waste a shot on, and then he can capitalize on that. And
90% за КМ.
his damage has been a lot of things have changed about his rookie, but recently he did get a bit of mostly by means of handle with care, the star power that makes his
Чисто мое предположение.
luggage always do a little pop.
Мне кажется, АКМ их знали.
Is incorporated into his
Как они сейчас отыграли, так.
star power was replaced by one that gave his porters additional health and additional damage, which makes them even more irritating to deal with. So basically, they took the part of Mr. P that he's played for and amplified, right? Which makes him quite strong. He's not go-to all the time. It's definitely going to depend on like the dojo, right? But to put it in F-Dot's words, the dojo, but nonetheless, I mean, it's not going to be popular everywhere. But I think it's good.
No, but and here's my thing, you know, as I put on my game designer hat.
Большое отставание.
And it allows you to make niche characters more for their niche, so to speak.
Yes.
And so exactly what you said, we've lowered Mr. P's kind of everything else to make Mr. P's porters better overall.
Yeah.
So that's why you're selecting him. And the reason I'm seeing a lot of Mr. P play is actually extremely micro-intensive. Mr. P is used as the way Spike is used for the big cactus, but it moves. I see these players follow the porter and use him as a moving sandbag, so to speak.
likely play mid.
Ну, кстати, баны хорошие. Бель и здесь Лола. Очень хорошо.
Exactly.
Ну все смотрим. Возможно, это
Especially considering that
смотрим.
zero percent Arena Casito in an interesting turn.
Which is solid strategy. Cow Dog wasn't expecting this one. Boom! And Toxic will be able to connect with that save if he so wishes. More important for him is going to be establishing some permanence here. Does manage to soak up a lot of damage with that lollipop drop. Eventually goes down. But meanwhile, Trance and Christian were getting some solid damage off. Meanwhile, though, Eka has been giving this safe a beating. 56% left, a 2% differential, which is quickly growing as Arena Casito takes more and more damage.
Nice look. Really nice look here. You know, Toxic's gonna try, but ultimately the adaptation Tone it down a little bit.
Почти.
A good start.
Oh, it's got Strauss.
затем.
Let's see.
But for right now,
Давайте посмотрим на баны. Что же, АКМ-АК. Короче, ладно, кого я пизжу? Я знаю. Вот. Арена Квеста против АК Милан Клэш. Понятное дело, то, что АК Милан Клэш их. Я думал, вообще ноль. Баны. Фэнг и Тик. Ну, в принципе, очень такие разумные баны. Тик очень сильно накидывает. Фэнг переимба здесь. Вот. Давайте посмотрим по пикам. Как только выберут они пики, мы сможем с вами их обсудить. Джин, да, Джин хорош, стяжка и убийство. Нокаут очень таки достаточно опасненький такой режим, поэтому... Ребята, что будет, если я буду озвучивать? Не они, а я для вас буду озвучивать. Как вам? Да, давайте я вам буду озвучивать. Собственно говоря. Баны. Так. Тут Токсик берет этого Байрон. Очень хороший Байрон. Леон хороший. И какого-нибудь, ну не знаю, какого-нибудь... За что ты шаришь? Ни за что не шарю. Забей. Просто забей. И фиолетово, кто говорит. Жиза. Просто они на американском говорят. Ну, да, скорее на американском. Бель. Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой. Опасненькая ситуация. Ладно, давайте катку не буду комментировать, а баны и все остальное я. О. Собственно говоря. Кайдок взял Байрона, насколько я знаю, Кайдок очень хорошо играет за Байрона. Это вот насколько... Ну, если я не ошибаюсь, я понимаю английский. Я не очень. Вот. Кайдок, по-моему, достаточно хорошо играет за Байрона. Пайпер. Бельджин Пайпер, Тима... Ой, неудобно немножечко Тиман. Но если было бы вместо Пайпер Байрон, это было бы ГГ. Ой. Вот. И вот теперь будет очень удобно. Все, погнали.
Draft for AC Milan Clash, in my opinion.
A nice look there. I think picks and bans came into it a lot.
Прям хорош.
No doubt. I mean, this was really just a spot on draft for AC Milan Clash. For Arena Casito, they do have some good brawlers. The thing is that they're having a tough time like putting the puzzle pieces together in the right way, because there are a lot of ways to put them together and only a few ways to win versus AC Milan Clash. And it's not even evident.
Really, really good for Arena Casito. However,
Это лучший пример. Теперь давайте поговорим по поводу бана. Неплохо, что баны. Мистер Пи. Хороший бан. Эш тоже хороший бан. Отличный прям бан. Через пошел, погнали. Теперь по поводу китов. Сэнди Байрон. Ой-ой-ой, ой-ой-ой. Сейчас будут решать финал персы. Эмс. Эмс будет зонить, Спайк будет тоже зонить. То же самое, Байрон будет хилить, Сэнди будет сплэшить. И третий тоже будет. Короче, жестко. Тут непонятно. Тут примерно одинаковые силы, но силы распределены. Одни будут дефать и не давать заходить. Одни будут просто им будет очень трудно зайти. И им будет легко дефаться. То есть зонить. А другим будет очень легко нападать. И, кстати, да, нормально зониться. Поэтому тут бы я, наверное, сказал бы то, что арена квеста посильнее. Ладно,
Okay. And they like almost took a timeout, right? Like,
consistently winning the matchup versus Kaio Dog and getting those exact lineup that he needs, though he is going to get pinched so hard by Pekka and Kaio Dog. That's the thing with getting pinched is suddenly there's nowhere to go. Toxic with the point-blank dodge of the curveball. Great moves here. a little bit of damage from Pekka. Trance manages to trip the nest egg as well. That means that he's no longer going to have to worry about that, and it's 1v1 versus Kyodog on the right side. Meanwhile, VT Zim is getting double teamed by Toxic and Christian on the left side. Countdown for Arena Quesito, and this could be the beginning of the comeback. They have been on kind of a slippery slope of defeat so far, but now they're able to very confidently strut out of this one to get another match point, but still a victory nonetheless.
That is the way that the first game was supposed to go. Like, that is, Arena Quesito drafted this composition to do that, and they did that for 2/3 of game number 1. And AC Milan Clash were able to respond in game number 1. They weren't able to do so in game number 2, and it makes me, like, I'm happy as a pig in the mud. This is what you do, bro. Like, you choose a comp to do something specific, and then you execute it. And you defend the enemy from trying to counter-execute. Arena Quesito just won my heart. Straight up, I hope they can do it again so we move on to another set. Because they woke up. AC Milan Clash were kind of walking over them before. Now, they got something to deal with.
All right, let's see how Christian handles Kyodog on the left side, because we saw a major switch up from this game, or rather to this game from the last, which is VT Zim now occupying the right lane versus Trance rather than the left lane versus the Barley. Now, Spike is going to be countered by Barley just as Imps is, but at least Spike has the benefit of curveball and being able to have a little bit more range and being able to shoot around balls just a little bit better. It is going to keep back Barley quite effectively, especially in combination with Pekka. All these gems topple of the ground, VT Zim's going to look for something. There's the freeze, the sleep from Trance, and all these gems once more are on the ground, but still it's not safe to go collect them. Toxic is the ideal gem carrier as well, and we will see all of these gems get added to Arena Quesito's tally, but he in the lead for a moment. Oh wow, actually. We'll see the Sandstorm go down, and Toxic will get the 8th gem.
Huge play there. That was Sandy going all in. Trance ran up the right side. No! They dropped him! And Arena Quesito needs help here. Barley is trying to keep the enemy at bay while also maintain mid-control and somehow pulled off both. Honestly, I think AC Milan Clash could have gotten in there if they wanted to, but decided to play it safe. Now they have 9, and now it's all theirs to be had. Is this the way it ends? Oh, no, it is. Arena Quesito dropped the ball. The gems are scooped. And this is how I win, says AC Milan Clash. 16 in the pocket. Oh, no! Take it down to the last minute. What? Arena Quesito on the run.
It's not going to be that easy. VT Zim's going to go down. Trance has to stop this from happening. Another one to the next set. Well, lots of damage is coming in from Kyodog. Pekka looks for the damage, but Trance is able to pick them all up. 17 gems on the count, 10 seconds remain for VT Zim to do something, but it looks like they missed it. They fumbled the bag. That is taking us on to set number 4. No way did that just happen. And look, it's hard to the most tragic BM fail that we have seen in the BSD, right? We saw that one at Worlds, which we're not gonna name because it's kind of a sore subject still, I assume. But man, this one is gonna come in the highlight reel.
That was the buzzer beater. That was at 1 second, like. Okay, Arena Quesito working hard for this one. Really working hard for this one. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Out of control.
Yeah.
All right, so let's reflect on this real quick.
Dry
so,
season.
Again, very, very proud of Arena Quesito because I think that they came into this one understanding how to play. And that's important. Like, you can win by just running on the field and getting it. But when you're able and you execute it, that's what makes me smile. And that's what Arena Quesito did. They came into game number 1, and they still lost. And stick-to-itiveness to just
По-моему,
keep
Акан не
on
умеет
and believe
играть
in going, all right, we can't
Bounty.
change our picks, but maybe we change the strategy. Nah, they just kept doing what they tried to do and ultimately trusted in the process and took the
А
dub.
гемы они
And so
сейчас
I think that's
просто
really, really
докрутились.
important. And as they move on to Bounty here for dry season, this by no means is over. I think they can get the reverse sweep here. That performance there shows me that it's possible. So straight up and down, you know, you said 5. It's possible.
Докрутились.
I mean, you said 4, right? So
I
did.
by making it to this set, right, we've proven you correct, right? So if we move on to set number 5, then I get to do that too.
We'll see.
So-
We'll see.
Yeah,
Чтобы Аканом
we will
выиграть,
see
ему
the
нужно
friendly competition
еще 2
here
сета вывести.
on the Latium South live
Чтобы
stream.
АКМ
Dry
еще
season
выиграть.
is coming up next. As you said, Some Bounty. Not a map that we've
Я
seen
надеюсь, на
yet,
счет 3-1.
actually, today. One that we've seen consistently throughout the BSC, especially towards the later end of last year. Some strong brawlers here. Definitely got to consider the Brock, the Piper, some Bell action as well. Also
Yep.
want to be thinking
Toxic
about
прям.
brawlers like Stu that can break open walls and also get good mobility.
Хорошая,
And of course,
Токсик
Fang.
Бога играет.
Bang. So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I think this is extremely similar to what we saw just now. The
Ох,
idea
прямо
that
прям
if you
докрутились.
are Arena Quesito, play a defensive composition and make the enemy come to you. And if you are ACQM, I think it's your job to say we're better than you, pick aggressive characters, and go to town. Like, I think that's really the thought process there. And so I would love to see Arena Quesito just pick classic sharpshooters, play it safe, play from a distance, and just, you know, do that and force the opposition into playing into your hands. So I think first pick, I might even take Bell over Byron,
Really interesting.
which
Yeah,
is a spicy take. I get it. And I'm not married to it, but
Yeah.
the idea that like first pick
да.
Bell will open you up to like
ГГ.
give your sharp, you know what I mean? Like I think that might be the thought process here for Arena Quesito because they're going to look to play the more
Но-
defensive comp.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Нави здесь плохо
Let's
играет.
see. Take ban, Fang ban. Nothing too surprising here. Take is extremely frustrating to deal with. Fang is really hard to deal with as well if you don't have the first, or rather, if you don't have the last pick for that counter pick. Otherwise, you can get countered out pretty hard. Even then, if you allow the enemy to play Fang and you're playing counters yourself, you're not even guaranteed a victory. The dude is very elusive, very slippery.
Да.
See who gets the first pick in this
Наши
situation, though. And
засуха.
after you said first pick Bell, I'm gonna go with first pick Brock, actually. I think Brock is a realistic contender. Can blow up
Хорошие
some of
баны,
the walls strategically.
Фэнгом.
And MC Henry's part of his
Yeah.
kit
Ну,
just got some
скорее
buff.
всего,
Yeah.
I feel like that's directly in between the first pick Brock, that's arguably, or the first pick Byron, that's arguably correct, quote unquote, and the first pick Bell, that's very, very aggressive. You know?
Oh yeah.
Дин
I think the Brock is the happy medium,
тик
and we get
бан.
nothing of the sort, and we get first pick Jean, which
А, Джин.
when I said first pick,
Джин
I
тоже
meant for
нормально.
Arena
Это хорошо
Quesito,
делать.
and so we'll get the Piper and the Leon.
Кристиан у них самый лучший. Кристиан не только
again,
трансформация.
Arena Quesito are playing this, so they have this Leon, which is sort of a
Леон, Пайпер,
manual transmission, if you will. They can shift gears. But Christian is part of this long-range defensive composition. And look what AC Milan Clash has gone. They have gone
И Макс.
not an all-in comp, but a very different approach than the sit-back and sharpshooter look, right? Pekka can go all-in, Caldog can pull it, so you can go either way. And VT Zim is going to provide help for Pekka. And so this whole idea from AC Milan Clash is about going and getting the kills. Whereas Arena Quesito, right now, we'll see where that third choice goes, is about letting the kills come to you. And so those are the two big brain mentalities that are happening right here. And with Trance's last selection, we'll solidify if that's the direction AQ is going to go to.
Well, let's see. It's going to have to be something to slow down a really fast and aggressive push. I guess it'll be a mystery for now. It'll end up being Crow. And let's also talk about the matchup of Piper versus the Max Speed. That's interesting. It is going to minimize. Okay, here we go. That's actually very, very useful. Not only are you able to slow down Max while she's all sped up, but you're able to reduce the healing that Magic Hubs is able to give to his allies. Probably not the exact reason, but still, Crow is all around a very powerful brawler. Big struggle for Christian, and this is seriously going to put his Piper skills to the test, is dealing with Max, right? And also dealing with Mr. P. Mr. P is a hard counter to Piper once he's able to get his super up. Here's the wall break by Christian, and still, he's going to be fighting versus this very fast brawler that is going to be able to dodge out most of the shots just by seeing them midair and reacting in an appropriate amount of time.
Just under a minute to go here, and Arena Quesito find themselves in the lead at the moment. 1 or 2 kills will even things up. 1 kill now will even things up, or put them in the lead. Them beating AC Milan Clash. And again, similar to what we said, I think I said earlier in like the quarterfinals, this is 2 AC. There's no problem with the red team being behind at the moment to a certain extent. They're made to answer back a little bit later. That said, Arena Quesito getting really aggressive here is a nice look for them, leading 10-7. 1 kill puts the ball in the side of AC Milan Clash's court and allows them to take the victory. Countdown from 12. Here comes AC Milan.
Okay, just a little bit more time for AC Milan Clash to make 1 move. They got to get a pull or something. Christian jukes it out, but he will go down. Trans isn't able to get the kill in time. And AC Milan Clash, once again, are at match point. Now,
that's what they play for.
But this is not anything that AQM, or rather that I guess AQ, Arena Quesito, is unfamiliar with, right? They were able to fight their way out of the match point once, twice in the last set, and they're ready to do it again. The thing is that they got to come to this game with a renewed sense of what this comp is all about. Great tank, actually, by Heka there to keep Kaio Dog alive. Arena Quesito continue to play aggressively. In fact, that's the most aggressively we've seen them play throughout this entire match. Christian especially breaking open a lot of walls. It's absolutely furious what's going on here, but Arena Quesito, they have to play aggressive too, because they're at a deficit. And if they hang back, well, so will AC Milan Clash, and there's no chance of Arena Quesito pushing in the last few seconds.
I think this composition here, I was really
Really
rooting for the second sharpshooter on the side of Arena Quesito. And unfortunately for them and their fans, they went in a different direction, and I don't think it's been working out for them. Now, I realize as soon as I say that Toxic does what he's supposed to do. That's exactly why we've gone in this direction with the Leon, and that's what's supposed to happen. But unfortunately, getting all the way behind enemy line and getting that 1 kill is a whole lot of effort for a single star. And I just don't think that's enough. I think that AC Milan are going to do exactly what they did last time. Keep the game within 3 or so stars. They don't have to go aggressive if Arena Quesito doesn't force the issue. Arena Quesito is not forcing the issue. And now with the countdown from 30, AC Milan Clash can be aggressive. They can pincer you. They can come from all angles and just shut you down. No kills just yet, but there's still some time, and there it is.
But that is the grab and go. So they call it guy with the grab to the go from Max. It's going to be a real close one. Got to see 1 kill from Arena Quesito in order to make this happen. Trans gets booped away. Gets taken down a kill from Arena Quesito. But enough. A 1-star difference. And there you have it. Your monthly final champions for LATAM South are AC Milan Clash. Congratulations. What a way to end things off. Well, I can do it too. I mean, I have a pretty similar looking chair. We can replicate it. Right?
Just the like lean back. Oh, didn't expect it. But getting the dub, man, congratulations The AC Milan clash, beautiful, beautiful look.
Поздравляем, Кирилл Кэш, они прошли нельзя топ-1
as their opposition, Arena KC. So honestly, put up a good fight. You know, this was a strong squad that were able to do what they needed to in order to provide some sort of resistance. You can see 2-1, and then ultimately they take round match. Set number 3. The rounds have messed me up with hot shot. With knockout. We'll get there. Yeah, nice finals here. I'm glad that we saw some resistance as well. Because we saw AC Milan just 2-0 some people, and I'm really glad that we got a nice matchup.
Yeah, this was spectacular.
Кстати, за него больше всего голосов. За токсиков еще 9%,
right? Because this roster is pretty much out of nowhere. I mean, we have a duo that we saw a little bit, right? But it just unbelievable. The third is everything, right? Ties everything together. He's the glue of the entire team. A great mid brawler. I'm looking forward to seeing more from those guys in the future. Now, a team that we didn't really get to see perform today actually was Chazmac Gaming, because they got knocked out by AQM pretty early on. So Arena KC, right, they haven't faced the only like big bad boss of LATAM South yet. They still got to contend with Chazmac, because there's a 50-50 chance that they end up on the same side of the bracket. And if they make it to the finals, there's a 50-50 chance that, you know, they're facing versus the guys.
Definitely got to watch out for that, you know, and keep in mind all of the opposition. And again, you know, as it comes down to it, this is one of the aspects of the game that hasn't changed from last year to this year, but gets deeper, is the idea of doing your homework on the enemy teams. Last year, with the change to power match format, this is something that carries over. You absolutely have to do your homework on the other teams, not just what the tier list says, but what specifically they play and what they're good at. You still have to do that. And now you have more opportunity to mess with them. So last time you would have to do the research just to be prepared. Now you're prepared, but you can also, you know, if you know their strategy and they always first pick Stu and they're going to follow it up with, you can pick Colette second. And so that thought process is going to be a big thing for teams to kind of grab, take with, and run. And again, I'm looking for this strat phase to really level the competition and allow some of the teams that haven't reached that top level of prowess to really catch up.
Yeah, I think that this was a great start to the year, especially for LATAM South, our second broadcast for BSC of the year, and it is already like fiery hot up in here. We got new faces breaking into the scene. We have new precedents being established with every single game, with every single round, whether it's knockout, whether it is a normal game mode, right? That actually is played in games rather than rounds and then games. We're discovering something new, right? We are developing new insights as Power Match, which previously was exclusively for Power League, is being brought more into the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun looking at, you know, all the different changes and how we into the scene and get to know them. We've gotten a chance to see more and more players on their face cams now this year compared to last year, which is super sick. Got to see some cool pop-offs, and we'll even get a chance to talk to some players this year as well, I'm pretty sure. So I'm really looking forward to the continuation of the BSC and getting involved with getting more people up here, getting more fans, and also commentators as well. We've got some new people across the board. Shout out to Kenny that already had his debut next to Mark earlier on. And speaking of earlier on, this is the way today's matches went. We had 8 teams come out. Shout outs to all of them. Zero Zone, Arena Quesito, Zacron Gaming, Portuguese Esports, and Banana, those are free agents, KIB Esports, AC Milan Clash, and Chazmac Gaming, the last of which, of course, formerly INTZ. And they found themselves losing in that first round. That's probably the biggest story here. And then our semifinals brought us to our grand finals, which y'all just got a chance to see. So really, really fun stuff that we got to see so far. What was your matchup of the day?
Португизов назовем их так. Ну и третий. Там против АКМ.
Yes, actually. And that's just because I really expected it to be a very close match, and I was very satisfied coming out of that one. I had a team that I watched in match number 1 take down Zero Zone, who I thought was going to take the victory. And then we also had Portuguesa with some of my favorite players that I've seen competing in the Brawl Stars esports scene since 2019. So
В самом
it's very
начале
satisfying
выиграли две
match
красных
to watch.
команды,
And
а
it
с
was
другой
great to
стороны
see
две синие.
Marina Quesito
Потом
ascend
выиграла
above it,
синяя
not only
и
into the grand
красная
finals,
команда, а в
but
итоге
also
победила красная.
into kind of the realm
Красный цвет
of
выиграл.
recognition
Поздравляю
and
всех тех, кто
respect in this region.
Totally. I mean, that's what I look at
голосовали
when I
за
see the new
красный
faces
цвет.
is, you know, not only can you get there,
Понимаю,
but
что это бред,
how do
ну
you look
ладно.
once there? And I think with the, again, I'm going to keep banging this drum, and I'm not sorry about it, but with the changes that draft format have brought, you know, there are more levels of minutia to really dissect and go into. And so, like I said, I'm not the little league coach that says everybody gets a trophy and a pat on the butt. I am absolutely critical of teams,
Ладно,
even if
ребят,
you are.
допустим. Погнали тестить новый пин. Да.
Sign here with your
Так,
life.
слушайте. Жетончиков. Сюда, к папочке. Интересно, он вообще в принципе для всех?
Try some snake oil extract.
Да. Его пытаться тестить его где-нибудь. Кстати, ребят, я куплю БП без вас. Без стрима без вас. Вот тестить. Какого-нибудь базе. Да. Что офигенно, что еще скажешь. Можно было не убивать, кстати. Ибо на ком я теперь ульт накоплю. Да я ж пошутил. Дядя. Сломал яйца мне все-таки. 5-6. Я не буду крутиться. Будут крутить. Боже. Чел. Боже, чел. Так, ребят, все, я изменяю название стрима. Z. Становится родина как монолит. Боже, что за дичь? Вот сюда. Бравл Старс, eSports. Я на новый хочу. Я хочу новый. О, интервью с Кайдогом.
No, I feel you, man. Mi portugués es así, so I get your, you know, like thought process there for sure. And you know, good luck in all the future games. Before we let you go, is there anything you want to say to your fans or friends at home?
Thank you. For the top teams are your region. You have been so screaming so much. Have been
Да.
screaming in first place. Priority.
Heck yeah, first place is the priority. And, you know, like I said, if you want to give any shout outs here, you want to say it in Portuguese or Spanish, that's totally fine, man.
What? I don't understand.
Let's see, if you wanted to shout out any friends or family, you can in Portuguese if you want.
Falar em português. Speak in Portuguese.
Ясно, короче, берут интервью у Кайдога. Жила. Outlast. Чекаем, он в сети, он опять не в сети. Про 2010 нету. Если мне, блин, делать.